Hans, it is an honor to welcome you here.
It's really an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
So where does it all come from? You know, that's the first question I want to ask, because Interstellar, we have that poster, that's just the latest movie that you've done, and you just wonder, where? How do you just sit down and say, okay, Interstellar?
Well, okay, hang on. Interstellar is a fun story, actually. About 2 years ago, I ran into Chris Nolan, and he said to me, if he were to write one page, would I give him 1 day and just write whatever comes to me from that one page? And I said, yeah, that sounds like an adventure. So an envelope turned up with this beautiful typewritten letter, quite thick paper, so I knew that wasn't a carbon copy, and not, you know, typewritten, not computer, none of that stuff. And it was this very personal fable, really, about a father-son relationship. And now I have a son who wants to be a scientist. Chris knows him very well. So I sat down and I just wrote this tiniest, most intimate, really from the heart. I was writing about my relationship with my son. And I played him. It was about 4 minutes long. And I can't look at them when I play them this for the first time, because what if there's disdain, you know, it's like my heart can't do it. And this was really personal, so I'm playing it, and I turn around and I look at him. I'm going, so what do you think? And he's going, I better make the movie now. And I'm going, well, what is the movie? Because there was no content, text or anything in this. And he starts discussing this huge space adventure, and I'm going, hey, wait a second. I've written you this tiny, intimate piece. And he goes, yeah, but I know what the heart of the story is now.
What you're doing, it sounds like it's so full of enthusiasm for what the job is, rather than what most Hollywood is run by, which is fear. And is it going to work? Will you be done on time?
Well, we are always done on time. I mean, Chris is really quite brilliant at never going a second into overtime or a cent over budget. But the reason we do it is because we love it. I mean, look, I don't know how to do anything else. I've never had a real job in my life. I started making music when I was 5 or 6. And I loved movies. And I saw Once Upon a Time in the West. And it was just like, that's it. And that moment has stayed with me for the rest of my life, that amazing Sergio Leone movie with that amazing Ennio Morricone score.
I'm doing something that I never do just because it's so great. I can't even read what's there, but I'm just going to say a couple of titles. Yeah, I mean, starting with Interstellar and then going last year to 12 Years a Slave, Amazing Spider-Man 2, Man of Steel, The Dark Knight Trilogy, Pirates of the Caribbean, Sherlock Holmes, Inception, Transformers, Da Vinci Code, Iron Man, Last Samurai, Black Hawk Down, Pearl Harbor, Gladiator, Crimson Tide, The Lion King, Driving Miss Daisy, Rain Man. These movies don't have anything in common, really, unless they're sequels.
Unless they're sequels.
Yeah.
No, but they are.
How is Rain Man like Interstellar?
How is Rain Man? I'll tell you exactly how Rain Man is
good.
like Interstellar. It's really simple. Rain Man and Interstellar have far more in common than you think. I mean, if you think about the alien landscape that this character perceives, the loneliness, you know, he is in a world that is only his world. You know, he is a monk in a funny way, and everything he meets is, in a funny way, threatening to him. And the loneliness that character feels, I think, comes in very strongly in Interstellar as well. And going on a journey, going on an adventure, and, you know, seeing where that takes you, and you don't know where it takes you.
Sometimes you'll do just a single sound. It'll be...
Right. The Joker is, yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, again.
Well, yeah, the Joker appears, and we hear.
It's how you invite your audience in. Or think of the opening to Lion King, and you just hear that one chant over the black. All I wanted to do was say to the audience, it's not what you expect it to be, but it's going to be an adventure, and just come along, just come along. I mean, Batman Begins just starts with, because it's an origin story, and I knew we weren't going to see Batman until Real 4, but I just wanted to say, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. No, no, really. It's going to turn into a Batman movie. And to just grab that tiny bit of real estate, you know, the black just before the logo, and just sort of put your mark on there and say, it's going to be different.
If I asked you for 3 of your scores, that only in the sense that they're as personal to you as they could possibly be. What you just said about Driving Miss Daisy was that way.
Well, I wrote about my mother. You know, every time I couldn't think of anything, I'd phone my mom and pick an argument with her. You know, and it was pretty, you know, it was method composing. Lion King was, I didn't really want to do an animated movie. But I had a 6-year-old, she was 6 then, she's 27 now. But I wanted to take my little princess to the ball, so I took it out of all the wrong reasons. And then I'm sitting there looking at fuzzy animals, drawn animals, and I realize that's not at all what this is about. It's about a child losing his father at a young age. And that's what happened to me. And I never dealt with it. And suddenly the movie forced me into dealing with it. And getting back to where we started, I mean, the letter Chris wrote me, the beginning of Interstellar, so much of it was colored by a conversation we had 4 years ago, November in London. We were at a restaurant, just Chris, his wife Emma, and myself, and we were talking about our kids, and it started to snow outside. And to cut the story short, you know, 1 o'clock at night, we're in the middle of Piccadilly Circus having a snowball fight. You know, but so the personal, he knew what to say to me. He knew. I don't know how to write from anything else. I have to confront the personal. I have to write from that point of view, and they're all personal journeys.
Well, I can't tell you how much I thank you for having this conversation, and just for that Rain Man, Interstellar alone. I love that. But we always end this show where I ask the guests to sing something. And
oh
yet
my
you,
God.
well, no, you don't. I don't know what you, there's no computer here, but can you make music anywhere out of anything? Even on this popcorn box.
Okay, hang on. All right.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be nice if you tapped along, because then we would be making music, because that's the process.
That's
you
where
know?
everything gets added.
You know, you see, that's the thing. You know, the operative word in music is play. And it's so important not to forget that in your life, you know, just having somebody start tapping, somebody else starts tapping along, and suddenly
but that's just what
we're
you do.
doing this thing,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, keep doing it.
Right.
Keep doing it.
Thank you so much.
That was like so much fun.